There's a tilt on this chair, man. I feel like I'm sitting down here.
You did your intro again. Like, if you looked right into it, said your name and how would you?
Yeah, my name is Gil Scott Heron, and this is Reelblack. This is the program you should be watching all the time, not just when I'm here, but when you've got some time. This is something you should take notes of because there's some real black people on here.
No, but look at it and then just say, how would you best describe yourself?
I wouldn't describe myself. I don't see myself the way other people do. If I describe myself, I'd say I'm about 6'3" in the morning and about 6'2" in the evening after I've been beat down a little bit. My name is Gil Scott Heron, and I do music and poetry and stuff, and that's what I do.
What, you really thought you're going to see the rest of this movie for free? I don't think so. You got to check out the Reelblack Motion Picture Manifesto if you want to see the rest of this movie.
No, my brother. You got to get your own. This is mine.
Date, save the date, save the date. October 14th, 2025. October 14th, 2025. Reelblack is proud to partner with the American Cinematheque in Los Angeles to premiere Riverbend at the Aero Theater in Santa Monica, California. I'm telling you now to save the date and jump on these tickets. They go on sale September 8th. We're going to be showing a rare 35mm print of Riverbend. This will be the very first time that this movie is played in Los Angeles ever. And it's going to be the very first time in over 35 years that this movie has been projected on a screen in its full uncut version. Make sure you bring your wallets too, because we're going to have these limited edition movie posters available for sale, and the proceeds will go to help our restoration effort. Afterwards, there's going to be a very special Q&A with the surviving stars of the movie, Margaret Avery, Julius Tenen, and Alex Morris, along with director Sam Furstenberg and producer Valerie Vance. You don't want to miss it. Riverbend, save the date, save the date, save the date.
It ought to be about black people. They ought to have the same criteria as white films. Financed by, written by, produced by, directed by, distributed by, in theaters that we own if possible. If you want to be a rich hoe, then go to Hollywood. If you want to say something true about black people, then do what we did. Raise the money from the black community and shoot what you want.
Hey everybody, it's Mike, and it's Saturday, and Molly's here. Say hello. Say hi. Color's a little weird. These China webcams. I'm a little blown out. I'm not sure how to fix it. But if it's Saturday night and you're watching a live YouTube, and it's Mike and it's Molly, you're watching Reelblack TV. Welcome. I wanted the energy in the area, in the universe, has shifted with the passing of Assada Shakur. And by coincidence, Reelblack was hosting Noma, Dixon, and Natiki Hope Presley for a screening this weekend in Philadelphia, The Spook Who Sat by the Door movie. Of course, I don't have the flyer, but you saw the flyer. I've been talking about it all week. If you're in Philly and you didn't come, you got one more opportunity to support, which is at 3:00 tomorrow at the Film Society East, which is formerly the Ritz East Theater in Old City. They're showing we are showing the 4K restoration. It's beautiful. It brought tears to my eyes to see this movie again on the big screen with an audience, because there's so much stuff that you don't necessarily pick up when you're watching it alone or on home video. So it got me to thinking that we should do a Black Power edition. It's very important that we, in this time, which is getting more and more clear that certain voices are not being allowed to be heard under the amendment of free speech, First Amendment. First Amendment is being violated by this system, this government. So, I just wanted to take this hour and a half or so that we're hanging out to go through a deep dive of some videos, not necessarily all videos that are on the channel, but on YouTube in general, and just point out certain things. And, we'll just go into the, let's see let me find something to play, and we'll hit the reset button. I'll greet everybody. Stick around, but watch this. Angela Davis. Let me find it. Hang on. Angela Davis. We'll start off with a clip of interview that we did. Yeah, we'll save Assata for later. Angela Davis, Reelblack TV.
Institutions have never really succeeded in reforming those whose lives these institutions have claimed. But of course, the assumption that prisons rehabilitate is one that we have lived with for a very long time. The current corporatization and privatization of imprisonment, the involvement of corporations in the process of punishment, indicates that that corporations that we would never associate with prison institutions have a stake in the continuation of the prison system, because they're earning money from it. They're providing the soap that prisoners use to bathe themselves. They're providing the food. Healthcare is outsourced. But I would also say that under conditions of global capitalism, prisons have become a place to deposit those who no longer have a place in society. Surplus populations, those who were considered to be garbage. And so that is why all over the world, not only in the U.S., but all over the world, we see people of color, or people from the southern region, people from the global south in prison. In Europe, you see people from the global south. In Australia, you see Aboriginal people. In the U.S., you see immigrants, and you see black people and Latinos. The punishment has become racialized. The last two books I wrote, small, short books, revolve around the theme of imprisonment, both within the U.S., but also imprisonment as a global phenomenon. Its connection with global capitalism, its connection with the so-called war on terror. I'm concerned about the fact that under the Bush administration, the prison became one of the main signs of U.S. involvement in the world. As a matter of fact, a kind of stand-in for the particular kind of democracy the U.S. Government was attempting to impose on the rest of the world, especially, of course, the Middle East. I try to use the notion of anti-slavery abolition to think about the possibility of prison abolition. And I specifically took W.E.B. Du Bois's notion of an abolition democracy in order to indicate that what we really need to do to address the horrendous imprisonment bans, more than 2.3 million people behind bars, 1 in 100 adults in prison in this country. What we really need to do is to create the kinds of institutions that address the problems that the prison attempts to solve, but cannot solve, because we're talking about a range of social problems. I and many others have embraced the idea that it is possible to abolish prisons. Not so much to reform them, but to abolish prisons as the primary and most dominant mode of punishment. And that would entail not so much tearing down all the institutions of that, which might not be a bad idea, but it would entail creating those institutions that would render the prison superfluous. And so if we had better schools, if we had better health care, if we had conditions of life for people who, that would give people some hope. And so many of the people who are in prison are there because they've had no hope, they've had no future. And so the idea is to create a new society. Perhaps this is what Obama means when he talks about change. At least this is the kind of change that I would like to see happen. So it would no longer be necessary to hold huge numbers of people, black people especially, behind bars. I'm Angela Davis, and you're watching Real Black.
So, comments. The prison industrial complex is a big part of the system that continues to oppress black and brown people. We see it right now before our eyes with ICE. That was recorded, I think, in 2013, something like that. So, the more things change, the more they stay the same. If you want to discuss that, I'm happy to put your comment up on the screen. Hey, D1, how's everybody? And today's treat, this is an entertainment show, is Temptations. Lickable spoons. It's her favorite. Not yet. Not yet. We need some donations. So people they say they're frustrated. What can we do to affect change? Well, art is the first line of defense, right? We saw it extremely recently, this past week with Jimmy Kimmel, how much of a threat his words were to the status quo. And for those who are just tuning in or haven't tuned in for a while, but they were attracted by the thumbnail, and if you're just tuning in, I'm sharing videos that take a deep dive into Black Power. So in honor of the late Assada Shakur, but we're also taking donations. The QR code is in the upper corner, and down below in the banner. I know people get bored with looking at the banners, but there's ways to support Real Black by buying merchandise at the store, and of course, if you use the code Bookman, as you see coming down the screen right here, you'll save 10% off any purchase. And then also we're running a special $75 or more. You get free shipping no matter where you are. So check that out. Let me see. We got some comments here. I want to make sure that we address them before we get into the next video. East B is I'm not sure what's going on here. To improve, I'm not sure. I'll entertain Elmira. Jimmy Kimmel is a devil. You want to be liberal or conservative? We ain't playing those games. Listen, I know. Look, you might get me in the neck. I might not be radical enough for you, but I believe in telling the truth. That's the position I come from when it goes to this kind of thing. I believe, and I strongly would disagree with you in terms of what Jimmy Kimmel represents to the society. He's a comedian and he's a truth teller. Whether or not you like him or not, he is a threat to a lot of people because he can get away with saying certain things that you just can't say outside of the realm of humor. So if you don't have Cash App, you can go to PayPal. We have the PayPal link that's going down below the screen, or you can go to the shop.realblack.com, and there are various options to make a donation or buy merchandise. But that's important right now because we're Bergen, Paris, and I and several other friends are making the journey to Los Angeles in just less than 2 weeks. 2 weeks, a little more than 2 weeks, October 14th. And to support the movie Riverbend, which I believe is a powerful movie, entertaining, and has a statement. So if you like the video, thumb up the video. I can't necessarily disagree with you, East B, but if you want to talk about what comedy is about, it's, for the most part, if it's good comedy, it's about showing that the emperor has no clothes. So that's all I got on that. But keep going in the chat. I'm happy to build a discussion on this platform. So let's see. All right. Well, we have some some people coming in saying, I think we should go to Assada Shakur in her own words. What she represented at the time, what actions were taken versus what she represents are two different things, in my opinion. So, I don't think anybody is necessarily condoning the act of murder, but at the same time, we have to look at the context of the times and what was happening to the people that were being persecuted on her side. So, in her own words, let's listen to a little Assada Shakur. Let me find it. Better if I do it this way.
The whole liberation of oppressed people in the United States had to do not with climbing up some ladder to success, not for asking to be just like Rockefeller or just like DuPont or just like Ford, because that would only continue the oppression and exploitation of oppressed people in the United States, and specifically African people born and raised in the United States. Socialism is an integral part of building social justice on this planet. The condition of my people, my history, was very much connected with other oppressed people, and I began to see that the same foot that was on the necks of the Vietnamese people, that was on the necks of all oppressed people on the planet, was the same foot that was on my neck. And so I began to understand that imperialism has to go. It is a poison that is killing people all over this world. The priorities of this planet have to be completely changed. And instead of profits, instead of policies that destroy the earth, that destroy the water, that destroy human beings, I believe a policy that protects people, that makes people live in a community, a world community. That's what I believe. That's my basic political commitment at this moment.
Okay. So that's Assada Shakur, who passed away at the age of 78 this past week. Molly disappeared. She's frustrated with me talking about this Black Power stuff. And but we have a good crowd tonight, 43 in the room right as we speak. Tell a friend, bring them in, make a donation. We're really in a position where we can use your support in order to make this Riverbend thing happen. So I think it's time for a break, and let me explain what Riverbend is in Charles Wood's own words.
I don't ever want to hear the words boy or colored used again. We are all black men, and we should be proud of that fact.
That film is significant today because it spoke truth to power, and it showed some black hero rallying black folk against the system. That's what is unique about Riverbend.
Hey boy, I want to talk to you. Answer me!
This is my answer.
Stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up.
Yeah, so Riverbend, very important film, 1989. It was suppressed suppressed similar in similar ways to the Spook Who Sat by the Door, which, if you're in Philadelphia, you got one more chance to go see it, which is tomorrow afternoon at 3:00 at the Film Society East. And please, if you're watching and you're in the area, come out. I'll be there. If you have a and I'll be giving out stuff. They're signing stuff. It's a chance to meet the daughters of two legends, Ivan Dixon and Sam Greenlee. All right, so we're building thank you, Candace. Justice, thanks for subscribing to Reelblack 2. I'm trying to move more content over to Reelblack 2. It's where we monetize. It's not nearly as many viewers as we get on Reelblack 1, but if you want to see something, I'll show you some highlights from our Q&A with Noma Dixon. But let me finish with Riverbend. So Riverbend is a 1989 movie starring the late Steve James and Margaret Avery, who's going to be at the screening in Los Angeles on October 14th. It's about a trio of Black soldiers in 1966 who helped a small community in Riverbend, Georgia, fight back against their oppressor, which is shown as a racist sheriff, a despicable racist sheriff. And it's a movie that we discovered or rediscovered by placing it on the channel. And it turns out it's what you call an orphan film, which means that the chain of title, the ownership paperwork along the way got lost and it was out of circulation. We did our due diligence, and with the cooperation and help of two major individuals, Valerie Vance, the original co-producer, and widow of Sam Vance, the author of the movie, and an organization called missingmovies.org, were able to resecure the negative to the film. And now we're in the process of putting together a 6K restoration with the intended distribution date of Juneteenth, 2026. So right now we need your help in terms of raising funds to get us to LA. And that's all I got. But let's address these questions, because it's not above my pay grade to have a debate. And Bryce is here, and he's got some questions. So I don't know if anybody else feels strongly one way or the other, but Bryce felt that Assada Shakur was, I'm paraphrasing, I don't put words in your mouth. Let me not do that. Let's go back to what you said earlier. You said the truth is that Assada Shakur was a lifelong criminal. Lifelong? Okay. And a cop killer, not really worth building up into legendary status. I feel that in some ways you're taking things out of the context of the times. We're talking about revolutionary times in the 70s, revolutionary times in the 60s, and a lot of people. Do I have a Black Panther clip? I gotta find some Black Panther clips. We got something coming in. We got a donation. Thank you, Carolyn, for the donation. Thank you. Right on. Thank you, Queen. So, from my position as an educator, I'm open to debate. I would say that you may have been informed, or your position on this, Bryce, is from the mainstream press and not from the perspective of someone who was fighting to liberate Black people at a time when our heroes were being assassinated. So education equals oppression. I'm not sure okay, that's going back to Angela Davis clip. I'll go to your latest response. How do you think her crime and violence contributed to her message of community? I think you have to look at her and Angela Davis and Eldridge Cleaver and the Black Panthers. Bobby Seale's a mentor of mine. I learned a lot from him spending time with him back in the day. You have to put it in the context that Black people were literally under attack. The same way brown people are being targeted by ICE today. And that's a very clear statement that I stand behind. I mean, it's very clear that they're being targeted, they're being deported, victimized, violated, imprisoned. And we're talking about people that help us survive on this planet, survive in this community, in our communities. They're being taken off the streets. It's alien abduction in a way, what ICE is doing. So I think you have to do a deep dive, and maybe we'll do some of it today. We'll look into some earlier perspectives about colonialism, imperialism, capitalism. So I know those are big words, but if you're watching, you probably are watching on a phone or computer, so you can Google those and let's deep dive together. So, before, and feel free, anybody else in the chat can comment. I'm open to it. But Paul Robeson inspired a lot of the generation that would become part of the Black Arts movement. And here's a clip from Australian television when he was in exile in 1960, where he talks about how he identifies as a citizen of the world.
Certainly, as we look at the African peoples in Nigeria, for example, I just got a wonderful invitation to go to Nigeria to be present at the installation at the Governor General Ezekwe, an old friend, who will now, and I had to cable him. I'm in Australia. I certainly would like to be with you, but I'm out here with some good folks. But I'll get to Nigeria later.
Mr. Robeson, do you feel that Africa is to some extent an affinity for it, a home, or do you still feel America is essentially your home? How do you feel?
Well, let me come here. I'll come to that in just a second. But to come back to it, so I would say the Africans and the American Negroes have turned out to be an extraordinarily gifted people. The great tragedy is that by not making us full-class citizens as yet in America, they may be losing, I don't know how much yet. And to come back, I would say that unquestionably, I am an American, born there. My father slaved there. Upon the backs of my people was developed the primary wealth of America, the primary wealth. You have to have accumulated wealth to start, to build. You did it another way here in Australia. You had to build your accumulated wealth too. You just came and took it. You know what I mean? And that's what they did in most of the countries. That's what you Europeans did. You just took it. We got to catch up with you a little bit. And so in America. So there's a lot of America that belongs to me yet. You understand? But just like a Scottish American is proud of being from Scotland, I'm proud for being African. Now, in our school books, they tried to tell me that all Africans were savages, till I got to London and found most of the Africans I knew were going to Oxford and Cambridge and doing very well, and learned their culture. And even once somebody had the temerity, after one had conquered the Chinese people and imposed upon them the opium trade and everything else, to suggest that they were a backward people, just the people who had been civilized so long over the rest of you folks didn't make any sense at all. So somewhere, it was wonderful to find about the colored peoples of the world that they were very advanced. So I would say today that I'm an American who is infinitely prouder to be of African descent, no question about it.
Yeah, so it's Paul Robeson. So we can go back we can go before that. Marcus Garvey, Self-Reliance. We can go back before that. W.E.B. Du Bois. But Paul Robeson was someone who traveled the world and used his voice to travel the world, understand that no matter what we think or what we're told or whatever, we're not truly free here in the United States. So, hey, Saheed is here. Welcome. You made it. So we just added a QR code up in the upper corner. We need donations right now for the LA trip. No amount is too small. I mean, don't be like petty with it. You know what I mean? Be honest. Whatever you can give, we need this week. next week, I'll be banging the drum so we can make sure that Margaret Avery has her flowers and that my crew is well fed. So Paul was in the movie Body and Soul. Yes, he played two characters, Oscar Michaud's Body and Soul. Random ish TV. I do paid advertising. We do product placements. There's a box that we can check to do things, but just DM me on Instagram and we can have a conversation about what is it you want. We have an independent voices hashtag where we have outside filmmakers who want to share their work and they want to get it seen by our audience, and I don't charge for that. We just share it. And if you're able or willing to buy merch or make a donation, then we're grateful. So thank you, Bergen Paris. So you want to follow us on Instagram at Reelblack Renaissance for all the information on Riverbend and how you can support, and at Reelblack for all the stuff that's going on in general that's interesting or important to me. With that being said, let's find another video. We're about a half hour in. I hope everybody's enjoying themselves and having a good night. Just out of curiosity, where are people watching from? Can we do a roll call? And I'll play some music. I know we're getting a little heavy. Stay heavy. Keep the pressure on. I'll save the music for last. Where are you watching from? Roll call. Where are you watching from? Okay, we'll play some music and we'll do the roll call. This should be fun. Whoops. Oh, if anybody wants to join the conversation on live, I'll put a link here. So you copy that and we'll get you going. You can have a conversation, so to speak. Oh, ding, ding. Cindy, thank you. I love it. Thank you for your support. Cindy, thank you. Okay, all right. So let's watch some Dorothy Dandridge and we'll do a roll call. I love this video. My favorite on the channel. Why not?
I'm suit, the reach, the drape, the shape, and the stuff comes to look sharp enough to see my sunny gal. I wanna read the sleeve, waist, the right stripe, and a dress best with the glad clad in the latest band. See my sunny gal. I wanna look keen, so my dream will say, you don't look like the same beau, so keen that she'll scream, ow! Here comes my walking rainbow. So make a suit, with the wreath, pleat, with the drape, shape, and a stuff cuff to look sharp enough to see my sunny gal.
I want a brown gown with a zop top, with a hip slip, a lace waist in the sharpest taste. See my sunny man. I want a scat hat with a trim brim, a zag bag with a rip zip. It's my Sunday sad. Yes, I wanna look keen, some dream will say, ain't I the lucky fella? So keen that he'll scream, baby, you sure look nice. So make a brown gown with a zop top, hip slip, and a lace waist in the sharpest place to see my Sunday man.
Got a suit with the wreath, pleat, with the drape, shape, and stuff cuff to look sharp enough. See my Sunday gal.
I got a brown gown with a zop top, a hip slip, and a lace waist in the sharpest taste. See my Sunday fan.
I want to look clean, so my dream will say, you don't look like the same beau.
So your kid, I'll scream. Here comes the mountain rainbow.
Got a suit with the real and stuff cup in the glass.
In the latest fad, see my son again.
You white, you the prosecutor. You got to get elected. Huh? That county you live in, ain't no black folks in that county. So here's a white cop shoot 12 black folks dead. You think you gonna prosecute them? With them ignorant white folks that got to vote for you every 4 years and you buying a house, gonna send your children to college, you got to pay insurance. You can't change that till you understand that and change that. How many black folks go to jobs that's dangerous, but they can't stop? They can't stop, they got to keep going. Now, how do you make a cop change? Simple. You pass legislation and say every cop have to be insured. So we take out policy. Everybody carry a gun, have to be insured. Huh? The first time you violate that, you lose your license. If you're a cab driver, you can't drive your cab, you ain't got no license. Now, do you hate niggas more than you like feeding your family? Then your behavior changes. Make you like me. Make you have to be careful about the people you do like. And every cop, their children should go to school for free. Because you got to give them something that they can't afford to lose. It's that simple. You drive down the street, you get 5 moving tickets, you lose your license. That's what make you stop at that stop sign.
But they don't. The system doesn't want to punish cops.
I didn't say that. I didn't ask you the question. I didn't say did they. I said here's how you do it. You telling me they don't want, huh?
I'm leading into something else.
No, I don't want you to lead into something else. Because my ignorant grandmother, you have to tell me they don't want to punish cops like I don't know that. Before your ass was born, I knew that. I said, give them something to lose. Do you hate me, motherfucker, more than you love your children? Huh?
Okay. I'll leave that one there. Baba Dick, we miss you. Shout out to the ancestors. Best interview ever. Okay. So we did our roll call. We did that. I think we're close to treat time. If Molly comes back, or when Molly comes back, she's going to hear the treats. But let's see what else is in the hopper. So I'll comment on that a little bit. It was a heavy day for me. It really is. Got some personal stuff going on, but we'll get through it. Did somebody else donate? No, Justice, you're the most recent Cash App person. I don't know if PayPal doesn't ring on my phone, but there's a comment here. Johnny, let's see what it says here. I was raised in Anderson, Indiana, where they forced me to study history and civil rights because I have dyslexia. Who knows whose idea that was? Likely the KKK, Knights of Columbus, or UAW. Okay. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. Look at Elon Musk. It's impossible to control dyslexic people. We wiggle too much. I love it. Okay. I appreciate the punchlines. And we don't get too into politics, but we do get into empowerment. Yeah, just this whole prison thing has got me kind of upset right now, but fighting to get somebody out of jail. And I think I gotta do some calls. But here's another one, and another one, and another one. Well, let's see what we can play. So anyway, we put this together. This is interesting. For those who have been watching Riverbend on YouTube, you have not seen it the way that it was meant to be seen. Nobody has really, because the only place you could see it was on 42nd Street in a scratched up print, likely truncated, or at the time of release, or on VHS in a poor transfer VHS copy. So let me show you a little bit of the before and after of the Riverbend movie, and I'll leave it to you. I mean, we're trying to be transparent. The trip's going to cost about 10 grand. I'm not asking for you to donate $10,000 unless you have it. If you want to donate $10,000, you can get executive producer credit on this Blu-ray. But it doesn't entitle you to money. It's just a donation. But you get all the perks. We'll fly you out. If you donate, I'll tell you this right now. If you send me $10,000 today, I'll pay for your flight to LA and you can be at our premiere on October 14th. Is that fair? I think that's fair. And that'll help everything. We'll shout you out, give you the best seats, and you get to hang out with some really cool people. And I can't tell you exactly who's on the guest list, but there's some heavy hitters for sure, in addition to Margaret Avery. So that's my plea. Maybe as a collective, I'll go back to Sam Greenlee. That's how they did it back in the day.
Films ought to be about black people. They ought to have the same criteria as white films. Financed by, written by, produced by, directed by, distributed by, in theaters that we own if possible. If you want to be a rich hoe, then go to Hollywood. If you want to say something true about black people, then do what we did. Raise the money from the black community and shoot what you want.
So have I ever tried to contact YouTube to allow them to monetize again? They're not very clear about what it is what the violation was. So it feels like punishment. Get a loan. What can you get for $100, Bergen Parasites? That's an excellent question. If you donate $100, either through Cash App or through Indiegogo, when we do our fundraiser in the next week or two, that $100 point gets you a signed Blu-ray and a limited edition, as long as the quantities. We only pressed up 100 of these enamel pins, and we're going to give away about 30 of them to our VIPs. So you'll get a VIP Riverbend enamel pin and a signed Blu-ray, signed either by Sam Furstenberg or Margaret Avery, your choice. Okay, so let's see. But I wanted to get into Richard Pryor, but before I get into that, I wanted to finish the idea here, the before and after on Riverbend. So if you don't know, now you know. We've been spending the last 3 years securing the negative to Riverbend and prepping it for a Blu-ray release next year. So this is before and after.
We come by here to get your gun. We gonna put a stop to this shit before it get too late. Hell, Jackson and Hammond dead. Pauline raped. We gonna put a stop to him right now.
Well, what about if we all go to the circuit judge?
Forget that circuit judge. Your husband got killed going to that circuit judge. There's only one way to solve this problem, and that's to put a bullet in his head, and that'll stop him cold.
That's right.
Well, how are you gonna do that?
We don't know yet, but we'll figure it out.
Maybe this isn't any of my business. Maybe I shouldn't ask. But if you are successful with the assassination, what happens then? What's your next move?
But whatever happens next is better than what's happening right now.
Well, if that's the approach you're going to take, chances are you're going to fail.
Well, you sure know a lot of fancy words, mister. How you gonna come in here and tell us about our town?
It ain't your town, that it never will be, until you take it over by force.
Now, if you really are what you say you are, then maybe you could stay here and help us protect ourselves. Or show us how to do it.
Maybe I could. But this isn't my fight. Staying here would be too dangerous for me and you. I've got a fight to settle with the army. That's enough.
My husband was just like these two, wanting to do something, just not knowing how to do it. That's why he's dead.
Bill, I'm sorry about your husband. But my answer is still no.
Think about it.
Yeah, so Brianna, welcome to the chat. So we're doing a deep dive through the archives to discuss Black Power and some of the clips that exist on the channel that relate to Black empowerment. Coincidentally, we're hosting The Spook Who Sat by the Door in Philadelphia this weekend. There's one more chance to see it, which is tomorrow at 3 o'clock p.m. at the Film Society East, formerly the Ritz East, on 2nd Street at Sansom Walk. So Sansom between 2nd Street and Front Street. So, but yeah, please join the mission. We're struggling right now to get over the 850 subs on Instagram for Reelblack Renaissance. So if you're on Instagram, please, even if it's just for a day, check out Reelblack Renaissance on Instagram. Get that algorithm going. You know, Shahid made a very good point earlier, you know, about the demonetization of this channel. It wasn't just the money that slowed down, it's the access that we had to maintain viewership. So right away, after the demonetization, we also started losing, oh, Molly's here. All right, it's your turn. We started losing audience. And it wasn't just because we were not posting as many movies and all that other stuff. They literally were not informing, and when I say they, I mean YouTube, Google, were not informing our subscribers. We have over 1.5 million subscribers on this channel, and somehow we only have 36 people in this room. So the math ain't mathing. And that's the most frustrating thing, because when we did need help, we got a lot of it, and we got a lot of support, and I'm grateful to everyone who donated at a time when I wasn't working, I wasn't able to work, and I was scrambling to grab the next Vine. So thank you for that. But at the same time, the algorithm shifted for a lot of Black creators. I'm sure many would agree that their numbers went down because of a shift in the algorithm as a result. So it's a very frustrating situation to be in. And that's why I'm saying, hey, you know, we're in a position now where you can actually have tangible support of what we're doing with this Riverbend thing. And you can do that by buying merchandise. As Bergen Paris said, you know, for $100 when we do the Kickstarter, because that's the only way that we'll be able to track you in terms of like your mailing address and inform you, and also you know, get the product out and inform you when the product will be ready, which will be Juneteenth of next year. But you'll get for $100, you get a signed copy of the Blu-ray. You said it, not me. Okay, I'm sorry, Johnny, you're going through that. All right, so it's Molly's turn. Hey, look what I got. Free advertising. This is one of Molly's favorites. Yeah. Hey, what you got there? That's what she said. Hang on. You're not in the camera. I gotta tilt down. People want to see your face. All right. You want me to open it up? All right. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Let's see. Okay. All right. Help me. Help you. You want to lick the lid? She likes to lick the lid first. All right. Don't make me a liar. You like to lick the lid. All right. Fair enough. All right. Okay. Lickable spoon. Molly McButter. Yeah, you can't see her face, so I leave the spoon up. Love Tarantino. Up, up, up. Okay. Oh, you just spilled it on my pants. You nasty. All right, that's all over. Now I can't wear these again. All right. Enough with you. Get your, I should have a little button. Get your freak on. Molly was ready. Yeah. I mean, if you saw my pant leg, it's crazy. And she just spilled it all over the pause, don't take anything I say verbally out of context. I mean, I know I talk so much on these things that you could clone my voice and, or if Fear of a Black movie critic is watching, he hears me enough where he can make fun of me. So Cindy's still here. Hey, Molly. All right. So we're at 51 minutes. I don't want to kill the replay. So if there's anybody has any questions, there's a couple more videos I want to play, and then I want to close with some music. So maybe another 30 minutes. Take us right before midnight. If we get through it all right. Okay, let's see. This is a very important video. I play it all the time. I play it to my class when we do race and ethnicity. Did not download? Let me see what's going on here. Hang on. Oh, it's not coming up. All right, let me see what's going on here. Sorry, dead air. Subscribe to Reelblack 2. Subscribe to Reelblack 2. Subscribe to Reelblack 2. Subscribe to Reelblack 2. So part of the brainwashing that happens is that, because we're force-fed this perception that Black folks are terrorists, dangers, poverty-stricken, dependent on the system to survive, we lose sight of the fact that we've actually helped keep the fabric of this country together. And we've also enjoyed some of the creature comforts that this country has provided us. One of the videos that demonstrates this the most is The Secret of Selling the Negro. The Secret of Selling the Negro. So if you don't know that video, it's on the channel. It's got well over 1 million views, and it shows Black people in a middle-class setting in 1956. But here is a clip from a William Greaves documentary, Still a Brother, from 1969, but we label it Black Martha's Vineyard in 1968.
When I take my family on a vacation, we want to relax. We don't want any problems with prejudiced white folks. So we go where we know we won't be bothered.
That may be down home to visit the family, up to Canada or Cape Cod, or even abroad to Europe or Africa. One popular vacation spot among Negroes is the resort town of Oak Bluff, Massachusetts, situated on Martha's Vineyard, an island just off Cape Cod. For fun and relaxation, thousands journey here each summer from all over the country, forming a sizable Negro colony which gets along with, but keeps somewhat aloof from, local and vacationing whites. Doctors, teachers, and other professionals are prominent, and many have bought and maintained summer homes for their wives and children.
Okay, guys, there.
Weekend parties at places such as Sag Harbor on New York's Long Island are a specialty of Eastern club and fraternal groups. Still barred from membership at most country clubs and disgusted with attitudes at resort hotels in the Catskills, Miami Beach, and other holiday spots, some club members fly into such private parties from other cities to claim their place in the sun. Not all Negroes are pleased with the Negro middle class, however.
In my mind, there is no black middle class. It's impossible for it to exist in this country. We have those who aspire to be middle class. And to that group, I would say that they have been almost totally, 99% negligent in their response to the struggles of the masses of black people in this country, and that they have, in many instances, in fact, hindered that struggle.
So that's the dichotomy, right? Can you infiltrate the system, which is what the spook who sat by the door was talking about. You know, for those who don't know, I've been talking about it all day. I've been giving the synopsis, right? It's about a highly intelligent black man who becomes the first black CIA agent in 1969. And after or in early 60s, let's say, and then after 5 years of being sort of a flunky, you know, he decides to leave and help his own people start a revolution by taking a local gang in Chicago and starting a revolution. Show the scene of Pretty Willie and Dan Freeman. Do I have it handy? I got the whole movie, but it's on another thing. I can show you. Oh yeah. Well, not Pretty Willie. I don't have Pretty Willie scene. That's a good one though. But we do have this one. Let me see if I can pull it up. Yeah, I'm doing stuff on the fly here. Okay, here's some stuff mixed. I don't have that. All right, so here's some footage from the Q&A from last night. So if you missed it, once again, the Spook Who's Out by the Door screens tomorrow, which is Sunday, September 28th, at the Film Society East. And shout out to our partners, Cinespeak, African American Museum, Uncle Bobby's, Rolling Out, and the Film Society. But here's a clip from last night, and I'll be right back.
There's a line in the movie that says, you know, this is, I'm paraphrasing because I didn't write it down, but it's like when they do their first raid, and they say, this required brains and guts, right? And I don't want anybody to leave this room thinking that this movie was not executed by some incredibly intelligent and spirited people. So my only question before I open it up to the room is, you know, just share some thoughts. What are your memories of your fathers and your brother's here too? So you have to acknowledge him as well. Do you just want to?
Okay. Just memories in general of my father, or?
Well, I mean, how do we get to 1973?
This?
I mean, and also I should say, Ivan Dixon is not spoken nearly enough about when it comes to pioneering black filmmakers. He came from acting and went into directing, the same as Sidney Poitier, the same as Ossie Davis. He was he was a pioneer, one of the first. So I mean, there's a foundation here. So
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, all contemporaries of his. He was born in 1931 in Harlem, and he started his career in the late 50s, I think 57, on Broadway. So he had been in the game for a while, acting. You mentioned Nothing But a Man, which is a film with Abby Lincoln that he started in '64. Several television, Twilight Zones, Outer Limits, any of those shows that you can think of. He's most known for Hogan's Heroes. But, you know, the Broadway work is Raisin in the Sun, both the film as well. So he had a very strong acting career, but he always wanted to direct. And it was actually in the late 60s. He had been on Hogan's for about 4 years. And Bill Cosby actually gave him his first directing gig on the first Bill Cosby show. So all of this to say is a progression, and he'd been working in this industry for a long time, a lot of frustrations. He was always looking for material, though, that he could direct. Had gone out and acquired the rights for a couple of different books, Ishmael Reed's book, a couple of different books. But when he read this book, it really spoke to him in terms of the frustrations that he felt a lot of folks were feeling. And there's a quote, and I think you mentioned it before, about how he felt like it was a fantasy. And it took me a while to find some interviews and some more commentary on what he really meant by that. But I think what he was saying is that these type of feelings, this frustration, the oppression, all of this was something that most African Americans were feeling at that time. And as a Black male, from that perspective, you know, he felt for sure that Black males were feeling this. So when he read the book, he knew this is the one, because he knew the power of the medium of film, and he knew that this is a medium you can get messages across to the masses.
Yeah, so that's part of last night's Q&A. There's going to be another one posted tomorrow. I'm not doing the modding tomorrow, but I'll be filming it. And hopefully we'll be able to share that one on the channel as well. But the Spooky Sat by the Door, very important motion picture, along with what? Riverbend. And we need your support in terms of making sure that we have a success. So let's talk more about I have the clip ready for you. Not the clip that you asked for, Bergen Paris, but yeah, I know I don't have he's putting the quote up, Pretty Willie. I don't have the Pretty Willie clip. Maybe I need to put it up tonight so people know. I'll put it on my Instagram. I'll find the clip and put it up on it. It's a great scene. But what we do have is the scene where Freeman and Dawson are in the car, which is my favorite scene, one of my favorite scenes in the movie. So here we go. And then we'll go to our interview with Ivan Dixon. I'll close with some music. I can't find the Richard Pryor clip that I wanted to show. I'll look for it again.
How long since you've been in bed?
Not since the riot started.
That was 3 nights ago, man.
Yeah, I know. Cat nap when
When the National Guard, man?
Late last night. All white.
I noticed.
Yeah, the people didn't dig it when they woke up this morning and found the troops were here.
What do you think they'll do?
I can't see them trying to fight the army.
They didn't mind fighting the police?
Yeah. I never seen him like that.
Maybe the badge. The distance between you and them.
Yeah, I forgot. The pigs over here and the people over there. And never the twain shall meet, huh? Hey, man, I grew up down here, too. And I know these people. Now, there were some good people out there in the streets the last few nights. Not just hoodlums like they say in the newspapers.
In a scene like this, anybody can get involved.
But that's only going to make it worse. We have to maintain law and order, or we might as well be back in the jungle.
Dollars, the ghetto is a jungle, always has been. Understand? You cannot cage people like animals and not expect them to fight back someday. It has always been an army occupation here, with police badges and uniforms. Huh? You and me, a cop and a social worker, we are keepers of this goddamn zoo.
The streets have to be safe.
Safe for who? You're here to protect property, not lives.
Well, that's what it's all about, isn't it? You worked hard to get what you got, didn't you? And you want to keep it just like I do?
Bullshit. Listen, you think because you got a badge and I got a couple of degrees, that makes a difference? Do you know what white folks call people like you and me in private? Niggers, dogs. Niggers.
Yeah, that's a powerful scene. That's a powerful scene, and we should remember Ivan Dixon, the director of the film. Here's a clip of him that I had a chance to actually film and interview Ivan Dixon about a year before he passed, and these are some of the memories that existed. It's a short clip. Hang on.
Hey guys, this is Lyrespect and welcome to Reelblack TV. Ivan Dixon was a legendary actor, writer, and film producer. Best known for his starring role in the black film classic Nothing But a Man and the TV show Hogan's Heroes, he also directed the seminal blaxploitation films Trouble Man and The Spook Who Sat by the Door. Mr. Dixon passed away on March 16th, just weeks before his 77th birthday. Reelblack had the privilege of speaking with Mr. Dixon in May of 2006 at the Philadelphia Black Film and Media Conference. Here are a few excerpts from our conversation.
My name is Ivan Dixon. I don't do much now. I'm retired. But I used to be a film actor, director, and producer. Nothing but a man. A guy came up to my door and told me that I should come to New York and try out for this picture that they were going to do, and gave me a script. And I thought it was a wonderful script. And I said, gee. So I went to read for it, came to New York and tried out. And I got the part, luckily. And at the same time, I was supposed to do a couple of other things, One Potato, Two Potato, and a play by a musical by Oscar Brown Jr. Where but I saw this script, and that was it. I just turned it down. I said, turn the other stuff down. I wanted to do this film. It was about me, really. It was just about a guy who was a railroad worker who fell in love with a school teacher and decided to come off the railroad and live his life in this particular little town with this woman. And he married her and all that. And his struggles with existence.
Almost didn't come.
Why did you?
I don't know. Guess I belong here and there.
It had to look like a documentary when it was shot. So it was very naturalistic in terms of the way it was done. And we had to be very naturalistic kind of actors. So we had to imitate Michael doing the stuff. And it was really, it was interesting. It was fun. It was good. I enjoyed acting. It was fine. I just never got a chance to do very much as an actor. That was one of the things that I had a chance to do that I thought was great. And I did it. Nothing But a Man. And that was just the things that I think was the important things I've done. in the business. I spent 40-some years in this business, and that was one thing that I liked doing. That was all. The rest of the stuff is junk. Well, most of the rest of the stuff. The other thing that I liked doing was The Spook Who Sat by the Door, which was my own film.
The Spook Who Sat by the Door. The story of the first black agent in the CIA.
To me, it was a fantasy. It was my own fantasy. It was how I felt about many things, having to do with racism and this country and masses of white people and the frustration of being in a white industry and being controlled by that.
For 5 years, he was their token Negro, and then he turned the American dream into a nightmare. The Spook Who Sat by the Door. Rated PG.
It enabled me to say to anybody who questioned me about what I felt about race, look at the film.
Trouble is here. He's street smart and steel hard. He's a healer, a fixer.
My name's T, baby.
Wears $600 suits. Drives a $10,000 car, and he carries 2 guns. One to stop trouble and one to make trouble.
Oddly enough, never met Marvin Gaye. He was in the sunshine, but that was a strange adventure. That was during the time that I was trying to learn, trying to show people that I could direct a film by doing a film. And 20th Century Fox and those couple of guys that were producing it decided to give me an opportunity to do a film for them, an action-adventure film, what we call blaxploitation films. That was really kind of junk, in a way, but it was kind of a takeoff on Shaft. But and we tried to do it, but I had to do it my way. I had to, you know, I couldn't have a guy bathing with a girl in the same bathtub and doing that kind of a sexual scene in a film that I didn't want him to do. I couldn't show the girl nude. I had to, you know, I had to do things that I wanted to do with that scene, you know. But the ending of the film, I think, was just ridiculous. I mean, this guy walking around shooting everybody, you know, and getting blown, you know, blowing up the whole cast, you know. And I remember the secretary and I saw the final cut of the film, and we got to the end, and the guy's walking around shooting everybody, and one place to the other, and then he walks into an office, and the phone rings, and the girl said, "Shoot the phone, T, shoot the phone." It was so funny to me. It was just disgusting.
Reelblack would like to express our condolences to the Dixon family and encourage everyone to check out these classic films, all available on DVD.
Yeah, so that was our tribute back then for Ivan Dixon. This is one other video I want to get to before I got into the music. Let's see. Oh, the Richard Pryor clip. I found it. Here we go.
What do you think that these executives are afraid you're going to do to white America?
Probably stop some racism.
Stop racism?
Yeah. I'm probably afraid of that, because then people don't hate each other, and people start talking to each other, and then they start talking to each other, they find out who's the problem.
Which is?
Greedy people.
Greedy people. I have a couple things I want to ask you there. Do you really think that some of the guys that you dealt with at NBC, no names, right? Because there's lawsuits for that too, that some of these guys really want to promote racism actively, or is it a subconscious?
I just think it's part of capitalism, is to promote racism, right? in order to make things work. If you feel better because you're white and you can get a job, you use that. I mean, you know, I would.
Absolutely.
Say, I'm sorry, Jack, but shit, they say I'm white. I'm going to use this.
Right. Absolutely.
Get this job. I'm hungry, you know. But and that separates people. So they keep people separated, and that keeps them from thinking about the real problem. That's as simple as I see it. Probably it's not that simple, but.
Now, all right. You and I are about the same age, right? We're in our mid-30s. How long is it going to take before guys who think like you, and I say guys who think like me, people who don't want to have racism in the country, people who don't want to be oppressing any minority, whatever it is, sexual, whatever minority, really get into positions of power and can change things?
You can't get in a position of power, it seems, if you think like that. It seems that the only time you get in a position of power is if you like the people that are in power. To me, I mean, that's the way it goes. I mean, people that get to become executives become like the people that were already executives.
I don't know, maybe.
They go in with good intentions, but it eats them up. It's like a cesspool, you know, it just gets on you and it starts
the system
eating.
levels them.
Pretty soon it's all gone.
Is that what a cesspool sounds like?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, we'll be back right after this.
Okay.
So you're sitting in the barbershop, your character, what are you thinking about this whole Trump situation?
Oh, if I was in the barbershop, he would probably be like, I don't see nothing wrong with that guy. Because he believes in himself. And then he'll say, you all need to believe in yourselves the way he believes in himself. So he'll always have a twisted approach, but he means good. You know?
America promotes you to be Donald Trump.
Yeah.
America promotes that this is the way you want to be. You want to be rich. You want to be powerful. You don't want to give a damn about nobody else. You want to do what you want to do, say what you want to say. Hey, I'm a capitalist. So he's most people's dream of a life and of a situation. And it's a shame because life is way more than all of that.
Hey, y'all, I got a great new album in the mail today.
You know I'm proud to be black, y'all, and that's a fact, y'all. And if you try to take what's mine, I take it back, y'all. It's like that.
What's dangerous is when the universe pick you and you put on the magic glasses. There's rules that go with them.
Licky, 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 licky. Listen, all that people, here's a serious song. It's right, not wrong, I should say right on. I gotta tell you something that you all should know. It's not a mystery, it's history, and here's how it goes.
Mr. Muhammad teaches us that Negro is a term that was applied to us during slavery by the slave master. And right today, it's a term that is used only to point out the descendant of slaves.
Our little kids are still brainwashed. They said the very same thing. Okay? So that's brainwashing. All right? Welcome to America.
You can't stand when those hipsters come in and try to tell you about your own neighborhood and try to take it over like they started that. Next minute they open a soul food restaurant and then they lie about where they got it from. Well, it's just multicultural type of different culture. It's black, man. You're feeding us ribs.
Proud to be black, goddamn. I'm tired, my man. Don't worry about what color I am, because I'll show you how ill this man can act. It can never be fixed because it is all fact. And if you give it away, I will not turn back. I'm proud of my name. My name is Daryl Mack. I'm black and proud, and I'll say it out loud. I'll share my story with the whole crowd.
To the Reelblack family and all those watching, peace and blessings. Love you.
You see, the flag is drinks with our blood. Because you see, so many of our ancestors was killed because we have never accepted slavery.
You know I'm proud to be black, y'all, and that's a fact, y'all. And if you try to take this back, I take it back, y'all. It's like that.
Don't need to wax gangster to be tough, cause being black in America is rough.
You bled my mama, you bled my papa, but you won't bleed me.
has commanded us to be concerned about the slums down here and his children who can't eat 3 square meals a day. It's all right to talk about the New Jerusalem, but one day God's preacher must talk about the new New York, the new Atlanta, the new Philadelphia.
I voted for Hillary, of course, because I'm a Democrat, but I couldn't believe Donald Trump had won. And he had so many females that voted for him. Out of all the controversy and the things that he said, I couldn't believe that he had over 50% of women, white women, voted for him.
Can I really say what I feel?
Absolutely.
Want to kill him. I never liked him anyway, because he disrespects women, period. And we are going, this country is going to catch holy hell with this man in office. And we need to get him out if we can.
After the election, honestly, I kind of felt the same way I felt the day before. Like, I got a lot of work to do to secure myself, my family, my livelihood, same as anybody else in this country. And to be honest, that didn't change for me under Obama. That's not going to change for me under Trump.
I don't see really no change for me. I don't see no change. Not that I'm doing great or I'm not doing bad. I'm just going to continue, praising God and going to church and going to work and hope for the best.
I plan to do what I need to do and just keep moving, keep surviving, and I think everybody honestly needs to do that. Like, we can't get caught up in the fear of having Trump for president.
He's not going to do nothing for the black people. He's not going to do nothing for nobody but the rich. And if you ain't rich, y'all going to suffer. You're going to pay for what you did. And all y'all that didn't vote, shame on you.
46 million African Americans, 48 million Latinos, and there's 21 million others. That means that you still have over 240-something million people of European descent. What happened was that Donald Trump galvanized rural America and got those individuals that usually wouldn't vote to come out in mass numbers. Now, a lot of people was upset saying, I can't believe he's a racist, he's a bigot, he's this thing. What he did is the same thing Obama did. He galvanized a group of people based on his presentation. They all came out in record numbers, and so now he's going to have to be able to do exactly what he said now.
Your good Lord did something to wake us up. We've been sleeping, a whole lot of stuff going down, we let it go by. But now, everybody gonna have to get up and see what's going on. If they don't get up and see what's going on, it's over.
You gotta get rejuvenated, you gotta be able to process. And you can't be upset with outcomes that you don't participate in and you don't have enough knowledge about. It is our job as parents to ensure that our children understand the process moving forward of what it takes to elect people. Not just at the top of the ticket, but those who are our senators, our state representatives, and in local government.
What's going on? My name Big Phil, better known as Philip Young at Black and Nobel. We at the most historical Black history store in the city. We ship to prisons, all over the world to anybody. We got to step on our game. And we know who's in the thing, we really got to step on our game. What we got to do, it's time to work.
America is showing us that nothing's changed, that 8 years was a brief blip in our country's history, and things are going to go back to normal rather soon. Mm-hmm. Normal in America is what has always been: subjugation, domination,
white supremacy.
Exactly. There's going to be
let's just say that
resurgence.
word because it's like a taboo word, right, in our communities, white supremacy. But this is the white lash. Brown people are becoming the majority, and the powers that be don't like that. So this is the white people who are, you know, a lot of them are, some of them are poor, some of them are low information voters, and they see Trump as their
great white hope.
Yes, as this white hope.
I'm not tripping off of that. Like, those racist white people, the hillbillies and all that, like, I'm not worried about them. That's fine. You know what I mean? Like, let them, like, let them fine. That doesn't affect my everyday. I don't see them.
It's just disheartening that we're living in this America, you know, and
We've always been living in this America.
but it's just so blatant right now.
I can't knock his hustle for how he got in office. Because he took, which is true, years and years, the Democratic Party, they come in election time, they appeal to the brown vote. Then after election time, is holler at you in 4 years.
Number one right here, this is a history book that they're not teaching in any elementary school at all. Real good. Get this for your child, and he will learn anything that he need to know about history. This is another history book. You know what I mean? Things that we don't know about what's going on like right now with this election situation. You can learn from different stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? This is another history book. The Roots. You hear me?
The time for us to walk around with our eyes wide shut is over.
Mhm.
Wake up, America.
Wake up.
So you can crumble all in your ways, so you can sleep at night. All in
See, the movement was 70% black women, because the men couldn't show up till the weekend, and they wasn't working. So we walking and singing, and now we in front of them. They move over to our side with their guns and shit, their pickaxes. And the sisters just sang, man, and sang and sang and sang. So all at once I see this funny look in one of them's face. And I saw this fear. And I saw fright. And I saw these motherfuckers dropping the guns and shit. Why? Because when you're not scared and you're not full of hate, the motherfucker saw the Spirit of God coming at us. That's what this movement was about. Are you ready? Because when you get that way, can't nothing touch you.
Yeah, so that's a video we made 2016. I think it's still relevant. I just wanted to share that. Before we get into our closer, our friends Kindred the Family Soul have a new album, project they call it, dropping October 3rd. And this is the first video from it. Did I get to everything? It's called For Life. All right, so thanks for watching. Molly, you want to say goodbye? She's hanging out. All right. Good night, everybody. Here's Ken. Oh, you're getting up. Okay. Here, come on. Say good night. Miss Kendra.
I want it. I want it. Yeah, yeah.
answer. This here don't need no flash. I love to have the answers to any questions that you ask. Cause this is real life, grown up vibes. It's me to a T, it's just my side. So if you see it in your feed when you're scrolling back, you can go ahead and double tap. Yeah. Cause it makes a pretty picture.
Don't need no accolade, don't need no neon sign. Cause my heart's so cold and wrapped in your love. I promise I'ma be just fine. Cause it's the real deal, keen and wide. So damn grateful that it makes me cry. So when you see me riding shotgun, leaning back, you can know that what I say is fact.